Hello, everyone. My name is Nate Cap, and welcome to the 14th episode of Outcasting. And hopefully, you guys are doing well, and hopefully, you guys are all caught up on the previous episodes, especially in regards to the truth discovery methods known as the trivium and the quadrivium, which are to help us learn how to learn better, learn how to think better, and learn how to communicate better. Okay. And also, I shared the symbol known as the circle dot or the point within a circle, which is about understanding the nature of truth through an image to help us understand our journey, okay, to help us understand the aspects of reality. And, when you think of the circle, you think of, well, this is where we start out in. We start out in the circle, the aimless circle, the void of knowledge, the void of light. And so as we are moving through this reality on our journey, we are starting to refine ourselves and sharpen ourselves like a pencil. When you think of a cone, you think of a pencil. You start out dull, right? Start out not sharp, and then as we go through life, we start to sharpen ourselves. We start to refine ourselves to find the point, of life, to find the purpose of life, right? To find the truth. Okay, because it's about getting to the point, getting to the truth. So as we do this, we are trying to find why things are the way they are. We're trying to get to the why, the biggest question of all, right? So if we're in search for truth, then on the last show, I was talking about how what I believe is the crux of why we are not going all the way in our pursuit of truth. And that is because we have not discovered natural law. We have not found the purpose of going all the way. So natural law, I believe natural law is the purpose of going all the way. So once we understand the science of natural law, we will understand, oh, I understand now why I must go all the way in the pursuit of truth. Okay? So today I'm just going to talk about an instinctive point about the binding law of gravity, and then introduce natural law and talk about the difference between man's law and natural law. Okay? So this information that I'm sharing on this show and the next show, because they're going to go together, this information is the most important information that any human being could ever possess, or that any human being could ever discover and then live in accordance to, because it is all about moving in the direction of freedom. That's what this information empowers us to do. It wakes us up to help us move in the direction of freedom, because that is the right thing to do. And so as you listen to this information, you will start to understand what I am saying and what I mean by what I'm saying. Okay? So I think the most important question that we should really deeply ask ourselves and contemplate on is, how is it that we truly learn lessons in reality or in nature? Where do lessons truly come from in nature? Okay? So this is a very, very deep question to ask ourselves, because we must learn why that is. We must learn why that is. In the science that I'm sharing on this show and the next show, this should help with that question. It should help answer that question if that is something that you truly wish to desire to know, which of course, when you listen to this, and when you listen to the science that I'm going to share, you will start to understand why I'm asking that question. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want you to allow me to use your imagination with a anecdotal guide, if you will, just to help. This is just going to be about gravity and fear. Okay, this is something that we should really understand before we progress any further into this science. Okay, so I want you to imagine that you are on a mountain. Okay, and as you're on this mountain, you see a cliff. You see the edge of a cliff, and then you start walking towards that cliff. And as you inch your way to the edge of the cliff, you see down, below in the valleys and the trenches. And let's just say that it's 1,000-foot drop. Okay. So as you are moving closer and closer to the edge of that cliff, what is it that you instinctively feel as you get closer to that edge? You feel fear, right? You instinctively feel fear. And what that is what we're feeling is it is an adrenaline rush that we start to feel, where the heart starts to pump hard, all the blood starts to rush through the whole body. That's why we get kind of a little bit weak in the knees, because it's an amazing sight. It's overwhelming, especially like if it were something like the Grand Canyon. You know that if you were to fall off the edge in the Grand Canyon, you know that you're going to fall to a splat and you're going to die. And if you don't die, you'll probably wish you did die. But the point is that the reason that we fall off the cliff is because of the law known as gravity. Okay? So gravity is what? It's invisible, right? It is a law that we instinctively know deep within, without any authority figures telling us what gravity is or the effects of gravity. We just instinctively know that getting near a cliff is probably a really bad idea, for the fact that gravity is in full effect. Okay, it's set in nature. It's a law that is set. It is a law that is fixed, right? So where does fear come from? What part of the body, or what organ in the body, does fear generate from? Well, we can know this by understanding that we get signals from the R complex part of the brain. Okay, we get signals from the reptilian part of the brain, which is the same part. Okay, so this part of the brain is what sends the signal of fear, that where all the blood rushing through the body is getting our body ready for survival. Okay, so this is the good part of the ego. Okay, the part of the ego that wants our being to survive, right? So like if a tree branch is falling towards your head, you're going to get out of the way because it's the good part of the ego. And it's telling us that we are important and we need to survive. Okay? So now I want you to hang on to that idea of that concept. And let's look at another binding law, another law that we are all bound to in nature or in the universe. And this law that I'm going to talk about is very unknown, okay? It's known deep within us, Okay, but most of us are unconscious of this law and for a purpose. And that purpose is for control because we don't have the knowledge of natural law or the difference between right and wrong. Okay, so this the effects of this law are at work just as much as gravity and all the other non-man-made laws in the universe. Okay, so this law governs the behaviors of beings with the capacity to understand the difference between right and wrong, which is pretty much all of us, right? So we have to understand this is a law that we are all bound to, right? So this law, natural law, is also known as the law of karma, the golden rule, the law of one, universal law, cause and effect, the law of vibration, and so on. So there's what most of us know to be law, which is man's lowercase l law, okay, which is man-made, it's man-created. And this has to do with what man creates to be laws, which are always wavering. They're always arbitrary, they're always changing, okay? And they are rules that are prescribed by man, role-playing as authority through fear-based control, keeping the minds of the masses in a perpetual state of duress, meaning, the threat of violence that's pushed onto us if we refuse to comply with the little law or man's law, okay? And these man-made fear-based laws are what generate government, which is the enforcement of the inverted and degenerated material-based version of natural law. So man's law is an inversion of natural law, okay? Because we have to understand that in order for there to be government, there has to be fear. There has to be a knowledge power differential of information about the law of the universe, the natural law, in order to control a population or to control the masses. Okay, so the people at the top, at the apex of the control system in this whole world, they know this information. They know the knowledge of natural law, and they have kept it from us. They have hidden it from us for a long time. They've occulted it from us for a very long time. And now, because of a few brave souls over the past couple hundred years, have taken in the information of natural law and helped bring it into the light for people to see, for people to know and understand. And because we live in the age of information, now it has really surfaced. So we're really starting to see this information. We're starting to see it more and more because people are becoming conscious of it. The information is spreading. And this is one of the reasons why censorship is becoming so enormous, because they don't want this information to get out any further than it already has. Okay? But this natural law is the uppercase L law, which is unwavering, meaning it can't be changed. Okay? It is the universal, non-man-made, existing, immutable conditions that govern human consequences within nature, within creation, okay? It is a discoverable science, and all the beings with the capacity to know the difference between right and wrong are bound to this law, which is pretty much all of us, okay? And no belief is required for this law to operate or to work, okay, or to function. And it's a law that operates whether anyone understands this law or not, whether anyone's conscious of this law or not, whether anyone understands the effects or the science of this law or not. Okay? Now, let's break down and define the words natural and law, because this is very important that we define the words and the terms that we use, so that way we're really finding that clarity, okay? Getting to the point, right? Now, natural means not caused or created by human agency. It's not created or made by humankind. It's not caused by humankind. It's not by choice or by accident, okay? It is what is inherently and inseparably existing in nature as a result of natural forces, okay? It is based in reality. It's based in nature. It's based in truth, okay? That is so important to understand. Okay, natural is based in truth. And law, uppercase L, law, is a binding condition which is permanently set or fixed within creation, within nature. It is immutable, okay? It cannot be changed. Now, I'm going to end this show with this question, okay? How is it, or why is it, that we are able to learn moral lessons in reality or in life? And I really want you guys to contemplate on this. I really want you to think about this very deeply, okay? Where does it come from? So, if you guys want to learn more about the topics that I shared on this show or any other shows or any future shows, you can go to cubbyhole.com, start at podcast number 1, work your way forward. And also you can follow me on Telegram, where I'm giving weekly updates and weekly videos on Fridays. Sometimes I'm not, because life happens and I can't put videos out. Lately I've not been feeling so well, but I'm doing my best, and I feel a little better today. So you can also find the Cubbyhole podcasts that I'm trying really hard to put out once a month. So you can definitely check that out. Typically I'm going to put it out somewhere in the middle of the month, and you will see the updates for that on Telegram as well, okay? So if you find any value in what I'm sharing on any of these shows, please share and, get this information out there. So that's it for today, guys. My name's Nate Cap, and thank you for listening, and I'll catch you guys later.